I left my husband, I left my kids, and I moved to a whole new city, a whole new state, rather. Um, just me, no one else. And I didn't move because I didn't love them, but I finally decided to love myself too. And so for years, like,
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel. City boy! City boy! Without even watching this whole thing, yet or whatever, I'm willing to bet she does not love her children. There's nothing, I don't know. I'm just going to speak as a father. I ain't leaving my kids. I don't. I will sacrifice everything for them, and my wife is the same way. You know, I don't even understand what she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about. She had to love herself to love her. I actually, now that I think about that, that's like it sounds like blasphemy. Anyways, if you want to check out her TikTok, it's right here, ali.jade93. Um, for the people who want to know why I left my husband and my kids. This is the problem too with the internet, man. People putting all their info out there, right? So I'm gonna do a reaction to this and talk about it, and people can criticize it publicly because you put it out there publicly. But if you're gonna leave your husband and your kids, that's just crazy talk, dog. I felt like this is a rare thing to hear from a woman, right? Like the woman is the nurturer, the nucleus, the glue, the love to the family structure, typically. But just to be like, I don't know. I guess I need to hear her out. I guess I need to hear her out. I try to listen, but I ain't gonna lie. Just that first 20 seconds is very off putting for me. And yeah, I ain't leaving my kids for nothing. There's nothing that there's no love I need to experience that's more important than my kids. Period. That's just what it is. Period. Now we all make mistakes and shit. People make mistakes. They fumble the ball. Da 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 da. But like just me being like, oh, I had to leave. That's just crazy, dog. Like, no. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. All right, let's get ready to dive into this. Anyways, I plugged her TikTok. You want to show love to the people making um, this content. If you rock with me on Black Pegasus, like, share, comment, subscribe. Link in the description of my other channels. And let's see where Shody Wop going with this one.
I left my husband, I left my kids, and I moved to a whole new city, a whole new state, rather. Um, just me, no one else. And I didn't move because I didn't love them, but I finally decided to love myself too. And so for years, like, I put myself on the back burner, just being a mom, being a wife, which is great, it's awesome. But, all this time, like, I was wearing a smile, but deep down, like, I wasn't really happy inside. And so one day I realized that I couldn't keep living a life that made everyone else comfortable while I was crumbling inside.
Bruh, this is unbelievable what I'm hearing. That's what we do. That's what we have kids for. Like they're our lifeline. We live through them. Like we sacrifice everything so they can have a better life than us. So yeah, literally me saying that we sacrifice everything so they can have a better life than us. No, you're not going to be happy all the time. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges. I'll be real. I'm going to just open up. As a man, I provide for my household. My wife doesn't work. I provide everything, right? And there'll be some days I get a little burnt out, the grind, the pressure of all the different things that I have going on, trying to make sure I don't fumble the ball financially. So not only can we get ahead, we can propel forward, and I could leave something for my children when I'm gone. And the clock's ticking. I'm 45 years old. So sometimes I feel a lot of pressure, you know, and I get to see my family travel, right? They get to go visit their side of the family. They're always doing stuff. Right now, they're, at the swim park, whatever. And typically, even when we go visit family, I always leave a week, 2, 3 weeks early to come back and work while they stay on vacation or visiting family or whatever the case may be. That's just the life I chose. Sometimes I look at it, I'll be like, damn, that sounds good to me, you know? Like, I'm not envious of it, but I'm like, that I would rather be hanging out with the family and doing this, that, and the other than, locked in the bunker, recording, doing contracts, emailing people on the phone, driving around, dropping this off, that off, tickets, blah, 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 whatever the case that I'm involved with business wise. That's what has to get done. You know, if I that's this is so reckless. I don't think I've heard as much. It's you see a lot of reckless behavior on TikTok. You see a lot of reckless behavior on TikTok, but this is probably up there with the top 10, top 5. Maybe this is the number one most reckless I've ever heard. Like, yeah, the mom thing. Like, bro, being a mom is so demanding. That's why I bless wifey. That's why she don't have to work, and I pay her. I pay her to be a mother, aka digital media assistant. But she gets paid. That's probably not what she wanted. It ain't like all these girl bosses. But there is nothing she has to worry about ever, ever, ever. She gets to eat nice. Dude, she tells me she's happy. I guess if I'm single in a few years, y'all know. Nah, we gonna be good. But damn, man. This is crazy shit, man.
So literally, like, I made the most hardest decision, like, ever. Like, the most soul stretching decision, like, ever. And that was to pack my bags and move to Nashville. I actually, one day I just woke up and, I was just like, well, I can't do.
I'm gonna leave my kids. One day I just woke up and said, I'm gonna leave my kids. I wonder how old they are. That's just crazy. Imagine being her husband. Like, you what? I'm moving to Nashville. How does this play out in divorce court, putting this video on YouTube or TikTok? This is crazy, dog. This is the
Do this anymore. Like, I feel like I need to do something different, like, other than what I'm doing. And I felt like I needed to find me again. Like I said, because, I felt like I was losing myself.
Let me interpret this. What find me means. Because a lot of people think, oh, she's meditating every day. She's eating healthy. She's doing yoga. She's finding herself. She's getting her back blown out by another dude. That's what's probably happening. Yeah. She's finding herself. She's finding herself under those sheets, man. I'm telling you, dog. These attributes, and I hate criticizing this stuff and being judgmental. But bruh, these are crazy. This is bruh. Nobody does this. And you know why I said that? How can I put this so it does? Anyway, I know someone who knows someone who did this to their husband, their good husband, and she told him, we need a break. All these excuses. It's not you, it's me. We just need a break. And she going out with her bad friends, and she popping it off with dudes, and then coming back home acting like everything's okay. Dealing with they ain't split like this, but that's where they're at, bro. This is incredible. This is just crazy. And to get on the internet and be brazen enough to talk about it is even more wild. This is whoa.
So anyway, like, rewinding, I had actually applied for a position with Vanderbilt, and I ended up getting the position, and they were offering a sign-on bonus as well as a relocation bonus. And yeah, like, I got the position and I took it. So anyway, no safety net, like, no guarantees, no nothing. I applied for my apartment and everything. Like, I literally, like, got approved for everything, like, right away. So it seems like everything had just fell into my lap. Like, it was what I was supposed to be doing.
Ain't that crazy that she left to Nashville and then happened to get this job? It wasn't, oh, this job was calling. I told my husband I really wanted to do this, and being da da da, and he wouldn't move. Da da. No, she bounced on them and then got the job. That's what I'm hearing here, which is even more crazy. And the fact that she's doing this,
And because of that, like, it really validated my decision to leave. And so I did that. I get to Nashville. I started rebuilding my life. You know,
so she had the decision to leave, and then that validated. It's like, you know what? The stars have aligned. I'm just going to do it.
I even like started thinking like of another business endeavor that I had been thinking about for like the past 5 years that I never like built up the courage to do. And if you know me, like you know, I've had businesses, even like just saving money, paying off debt, like rebuilding my credit, like everything. Like I got my stuff back up, which I'm like totally proud of. And now like I'm getting ready to graduate with my master's in public health here in
Imagine living in a world where you're more proud of getting your credit where it's supposed to be and getting a master's degree and moving for a job than you are of your family. You're more proud of the bullshit hamster wheel, corporate slavery. You're more proud of that than your blood DNA being replicated, creating a little being that looks like you that is going to run through this world and do its thing. But you're, wow. Okay, this is where we're at, people.
September 5th to be exact. And honestly, like I still have like a long ways to go. Like there's still so much that I want to do. I cried, I prayed, like I healed, and I did a lot, like, and I found me. But like I said, like I'm not done yet, and I'm like so damn proud of how far that I've come. Like you don't even know the half. And I contemplated about whether like I wanted to even share this, you know, because yeah.
There's a saying that's going around, and this is starting to, I can't believe it. I didn't believe the saying at all, that men will sacrifice their happiness for their family and women will sacrifice their family for their happiness. I don't believe that's true. I think at the core of women, they're family oriented, they're nurturers, like they have this loving presence. But I feel like society has misled a lot of women, and maybe they're going off the course. But that is the news phrase I keep hearing, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, my mom, my wife, like I just don't see that within the nature of women. But hearing this story, like, it's like she's so self-centered and talking about I healed. But what about all the trauma you just brought into your family? Your children are going to have to heal. Like, what are we talking about? You healed? It don't matter. I don't matter anymore. My kids are what matter. It's just what it is. Maybe I'm tripping. Like, some days I'll be like, dang, man, like, I get a little burnt out. Everyone gets burnt out when you do, certain things so much, but it don't matter. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. This is like, I'm actually getting a little upset, like not angry. Like I actually feel bad. I just feel bad for these kids, man. I don't know her kids. I don't know nothing about her, but I just know how I felt. I was 30 years old when my mama died, and I know how I felt. So I couldn't imagine being a teenager, being 8, being 5. I don't know how old her kids are, but it's obvious they ain't 30. And then mama just being like, hey, I gotta love myself. I gotta love myself. I'll see y'all later. Sheesh. Crazy.
Like I've always like shared, good news about, certain things happening like in my life, but I've never just opened up and really just shared my truth to people. So this is new for me, and it's definitely like, taking a leap of faith, because this is nothing that I, ever really like.
So the first time you share your truth with the world, it's that you left your husband and kids on a whim to find yourself, and that job security validated that, so you stayed gone, and it's all about you and your kids don't matter. It's just, I just left them. Man, shout out to the father, bro. He's a beast. He's holding it down. He has to. Imagine those nights of these kids crying, and if they're like teenagers, like just not understanding why mama left, bruh.
Imagine doing. Um, but yeah, this is my story. And honestly, like, this is for any woman who feels stuck or torn or like scared to choose herself. You're not a bad mom. You're not a bad wife for choosing you. It doesn't mean that you're abandoning love. It doesn't mean that you're abandoning your family. It just means that you're making space for the version of you that has been buried so long under obligation. And that's exactly what it was. Like, if you are in your breaking point area, like, girl, I totally see you. Like, I see you. But you just, if that is something that you're wanting to do, like, I would just say pray about it. You know,
This
for
gotta
me,
be
like,
fake,
God
dog.
is the head of my life.
This is
And I
entertainment.
really sought him like never before because, I mean, God forbid I moved to another state and then, you know, the worst happens, you know? But everything fell into place. And then, you know, even my husband and I, like, our relationship got better. It started off like really rocky, but we got better and, you know, we developed a deeper understanding of each other. And I feel like things are better than ever because I know who I am now, like, even more so. Because when we got married, I was a 22-year-old girl. I had a 5-month-old baby, and I didn't know nothing about being grown. And I was just going along with him, just following his lead, you know?
As you should, as you should. Unless he's a bad man, but you know that was the traditional. Dude, I hope this. I hope she's trolling. We're gonna go through her channel because she turned off the comments, which most people who are trolling and creating rage bait don't turn off the comments because the comments help create more engagement. So I don't know. This was dropped 2 days ago, so I'm kind of getting it early, but
And because of that, I really didn't know who I was. Like you said, like I said, like, I was just going along, you know, just following my man. You know, he was older and, you know, he had the life and everything. But I had to find like what works for me. And I'm so glad that I did because, yeah, yeah, it was literally like the best thing I ever could have done for myself. Because, yeah, yeah.
all right, so let me tell you the problem with this on both sides. If this is fake, this is magnifying something that you see on TikTok kind of trend and that immature people could be influenced by, right? Younger adults, younger people who don't understand this is fake, this is rage bait, whatever. Um, and if this is real, this is just totally crazy. Now, she turned off the comments. And then she said, oh snap! They try to take my stream. So she on here. She is on here. Hold on.
So I'm gonna address this, and I'm gonna address it quickly. I just dropped my kids off at school. Um, I shared the information that I shared because I wanted to be open and transparent to women who are following me. Um, and I also honestly bit and, you know, be on my own. It, like, stacked my money and I came back home. Like I said, like in my previous post, like, I've been home for about 2 weeks now. And I know, like, I don't have to explain anything to anybody.
So she back
But
home. Bruh, remember in the middle of the video I said she getting her back blown out? I'm telling you, man. These girls just be going out, having an experience because, bro, I've seen this, dog. I've seen this happen. It's crazy. In my opinion, she went out there. Yeah, the job fell, came to her. She might have been getting her back blown out by one of the execs. But, she got her back and she came back, right? Because she probably got a good man. Look, bruh. Look at this. Bruh, what are we doing? Look at this. This is crazy. Beautiful kid. So I'm guessing beautiful kids, but this is where, look, let's look where it started. Oh, no, stop playing. Damn, where's the volume? They always trying to copyright claim something. All right, let's see here. All right, I ain't trying to judge, but it just seemed like Maybe she needed some attention. You know, I don't know. Maybe, hold on, using this random video with trending audio. I don't know, man. I don't know. If this story is true, I mean, now she's trying to battle the story. Like, so who knows?
I just wanted to come on here and clarify a few things. I made the video, and I said I left my husband and kids. I over exaggerated, and I did not, in fact, leave my kids and my husband. I went on a little getaway for myself for about 3 months. It was much needed. I was going through like a lot of mental turmoil. I almost think like I was sinking into depression. And, you know, like I said in the previous video, like I was really.
All right, man. I had enough of her page, man. This is just crazy talk, dog. I went on a 3-month vacation without my kids and have my husband hold it down, so I could go out and probably do some shenanigans, get attention. You know, I, look, I've seen the manipulation before. I don't know what's going on here. Hopefully, this is just fake rage bait. You know, she doesn't have that many followers, but she's getting traction doing this. You know, it's funny because it says turning moments into memories, beauty, lifestyle, family. I don't know. I can't call it, man. That's, you know, I don't know, man. She went all. I mean, so she already lied. Like we watched her lie in all of these, right? Well, I exaggerated that I left them. I just went on a 3-month vacation. Well, so it's just like you can't even trust this stuff. But again, this is the type of stuff that gets kind of hyperbolic. Look at all the views she has. And it's this one that's almost at 100,000 views. So it's just kind of funny how things work out. Anyways, y'all let me know what I got, what I missed. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll holler.
City boy, city boy.